Are you struggling with the low inventory real estate problem in your market? If so, this may be one of the most important videos you've ever watched. I'm going to be sharing with you some of our best practices and strategies of how to solve the low inventory problem in your market. Take a look. Hey everyone, Kevin Smullin with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies. If you're brand new to our channel, welcome. We're glad you're here. What we're all about is helping real estate agents just like you generate more leads, set more appointments, and close more transactions. So if you're after more leads, appointments, and transactions, this is the place to be. Please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here as part of our channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to solve the low inventory problem. This may be one of the most important videos you've watched in quite some time, as we share some best practices and strategies of how to solve that. Now, down in the description below, really quickly, there's a few links, things that will be important to you, things that you may find valuable. So one of them is our 2-hour Facebook Masterclass, where we show you our best practices and the strategies that we're using to generate leads, turn them into appointments, and turn those into transactions. So it's 2 hours free training where we show you our best practices and exactly what we're doing. Go check that out. It's time well spent. There's also some other resources and things down there, so go ahead and take a look. Now, today's video, like I said, we're talking about how to solve the inventory problem. So just to kind of set the stage, for people who are watching this video, I'm recording this video on February 16th, 2021. One of the common problems that's facing most real estate markets across the US right now is this problem where there's just not a lot of inventory. Not a lot of homes are listed for sale. When a home is listed, it's typically a madhouse where there's tons of buyers that are going, looking, submitting offers, and multiple offers on properties are the norm these days. So typically what a lot of agents are finding is that home hits the market, there's multiple offers. In fact, there was one here locally where about 3 weeks ago there were 98 offers on one property. 98 on one. Now that's not the norm, it's kind of an extreme, but that's really the landscape. There's just tons of buyer interest. Seller inventory is extremely low, and so first-time buyers are just having a really rough time. I find so many agents that I've talked to this week where, especially over the last few weeks, where they're saying, I've got all these buyers that want to buy something, but I can't find them anything. We're not able to compete with the other offers that are coming in. And so that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. I wanted to share some best practices, some things that will help you just kind of view this in a different light and hopefully help you find some more success. So with that being said, right, how do we solve the low inventory problem? Well, one of the things that I highly recommend is that you've got to stop promoting that it's a quote unquote crazy real estate market. And because it creates problems, right? I can't tell you how many times I've seen agents post about the inventory problem, and they're posting this on social media and they're saying, hey, sellers, if you've thought about selling, contact me. We're looking for more homes for our buyers because it's a crazy real estate market. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. And the response from people who do respond almost across the board is they'll say, well, we've thought of selling, but we know that we can't find a home, so there's no reason to sell, right? So one of the unintended consequences of the message that you're putting out is that sure, they can sell. That's not the problem. The problem is the moment they sell, now they become a buyer, and how are they going to find anything, right? So one of the first things that you've got to stop promoting is that it's a crazy market and that you can't find solutions and there just aren't homes out there, because that's adding to the inventory problem, right? You're only making it so sellers don't want to move forward. The key to success in a market like this is being able to provide solutions. And frankly, if you want to be honest, the key to success in real estate in general is being able to provide solutions to the problems that people are currently facing, right? In any time period, there's always problems, whether it's there's too many homes on the market and not enough buyers, or interest rates are too high, or. See, there's any number of problems that are always going on, but your success, the way that you're going to prosper as a real estate agent, is helping people solve these problems. The better you are at solving them, the more business you do. And that's true in any market. This is just a different problem. So let's talk about solutions. The way that I see it, there's several different solutions as far as how to solve the inventory problem. Number one, like I said, you just got to stop talking about that there aren't problems, because that just adds to the inventory problem. Sellers get it into their head, we're not going to be able to find anything, and it just creates problems. What I'm finding almost across the board with my agents who are doing deals is that because of buyer demand, the buyers are almost willing to accept any terms that the seller puts out. I was having one of my clients who told me that they were able to negotiate a 6-month closing to where the closing date was up to 6 months out, so that the seller would have time to go find another home. Right? Buyers are going to pretty much bow down to whatever the demands of the seller are. And so in today's market, one of the ways that you can solve the inventory problem is you're going to be able to negotiate extended time periods for your sellers to go find something. They don't necessarily have to worry about being homeless and not being able to find something, right? You can buy them time, which is one message you want to be putting out there to help people solve this problem. So it's the first thing to keep in mind. Buyers are going to be so desperate to get their offer accepted, the seller is really going to be able to dictate pretty much whatever they want, which again, it's great news. It's just one way of solving the inventory problem. A second way is that one of the ways that you can solve this problem, being able to get more deals for your buyer clients, is being able to compete with the offer situation, right? Are there tips and tricks and ways that you can make it so that your offer is more visible and more appealing to the seller than the other offers? So there's little things that you can do there. And this is really where most agents spend their time, is trying to make their offers the most appealing, which, don't get me wrong, there's purpose in that. But there's other ways of solving it. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one, because you've probably had plenty of discussions about increasing earnest money and waiving appraisal and waiving inspections and all those other things, just so that your offer is cleaner and easier for the seller to accept. So, but that is another solution, is just having a stronger offer, being able to compete in this space. Another solution is being able to go after new construction. So I'll use myself as an example. We sold our home September of last year, when a lot of this was still going on, September 2020. And being able to find a property in our, the area we live, it's a pretty rural area. It's not a huge metropolis. And same thing, there just wasn't a lot of homes on the market. And what we went and looked at just didn't make sense. The couple that did make sense, we would submit offers and we didn't get them accepted. So one of the solutions that we looked to was new construction. Now, new construction is a solution to the inventory problem, because we can build more, increase inventory, and go after it that way. In our situation, it worked really well. We were able to buy a home that was mostly completed. It needed about another 6 to 8 weeks to finish up. So we were able to get that home. There was one other offer that we had to beat out, and we did. There just wasn't a lot of competition, and it was a home that was already completed. Now, I realize a lot of builders, because people have been looking at new construction as a solution, I know a lot of builders where they don't have any spec homes that are going to be available quickly. Many of them have a waiting list. And as soon as they release new lots, they're being snapped up immediately. I get that. I realize that even if your clients can find something, there's often 6, 8, 10, 12 months of build time, and that may not work for some of your clients. Again, it's not the solution, it's a solution. But in our case, it made sense. It wasn't a huge bidding war. The time period made sense with our timelines, and it worked for us. So that was one of the things that we did to solve, personally, that we did to solve the inventory problem. But the third one that I want to talk to you about is just being able to switch your mindset and think outside the box a little bit. So for that, think about if you could go out into the marketplace and find potential sellers who hadn't put their home on the market yet, right? What if you could find those off-market opportunities? Think about how valuable that would be. There wouldn't be bidding wars, right? You wouldn't have to worry about 10,000 offers. It's a better situation for the seller because instead of having all these people come through their property, especially during these days of COVID, where people are worried about spreading the virus and whatnot, it's just a better situation for them, right? So here's an example. Let me show you an example from one of my clients. So this is an example where we are taking the buyer and we're marketing what the buyer is looking for to try and attract potential sellers, right? This works on a lot of fronts. Number one, think about how valuable it is to approach a potential buyer and say, hey, we're going to be looking at homes on the market. We're going to be doing all that same legwork that any other agent would do. But one of the things that we do that's different and specific is we do advertising like this to try and help you find the ideal home that's not on the market yet. So by having these off-market opportunities, it eliminates the bidding wars and everything else that happens, right? So it definitely works to be able to attract, get these buyers to commit to you because they realize that you're going to be doing something over and above what the average agent does to try and find solutions. Right. The other thing that's nice about this is you, assuming that something fits, you can pick up the listing and the buyer. And obviously, we always love that kind of situation where we can get both sides of the transaction and make that work. But again, it's just thinking outside the box, right? Because it works for sellers too. So remember how I said at the beginning of the video, one of the challenges that's inadvertently happened is a lot of sellers don't want to sell because their perception is, I can't find anything to buy. Well, think about how this solves their problem. What if you approached the seller and said, look, what if I could help you sell in a way where you're going to get full price or more for the value of your home? You're going to have time to find what works because, again, most buyers are going to be willing to negotiate with you in this market on that point. And during that time period, I'm going to do my own marketing to try and find you the best opportunity possible. It may be a home on the market. It may be an off-market home. But from the marketing we're going to do, we're going to be able to find you an opportunity so that you don't have to worry about being homeless, right? If we could sell under those terms, would it make sense? Right? Now, all of a sudden, just by having a different offer and a different perspective, you're starting to solve the inventory problem, right? All of a sudden, it's not a problem anymore. All of a sudden, these sellers who are on the fence thinking that they can't sell because they can't buy, you're solving their problem. You got all these buyers who are trying to compete with everybody and they can't. Well, this might be a potential solution to that. Now, am I guaranteeing that someone's going to respond to this ad? Of course not, right? You may get nothing. But whether somebody responds or not, it's not, obviously we want them to respond, but if they don't, do you realize that just the perception of you doing something different makes these clients stick to you because they realize you're different than the average agent. You're doing more to try and help them solve the problems. So again, the truth about any issues that are facing any real estate market is that there's always solutions. And the more solution oriented you are, the more deals you're going to close, period. So that's the purpose of this video, is I want to just talk you through some of these issues and help you find some solutions and think differently. Because if your messaging to everyone is it's a crazy market, can't find homes for my buyers, you're making it so that no one wants to sell and you're just making the inventory problem worse, right? You've got to change your message and let people know that sure, it's challenging, but there's solutions, right? And that's the value that you bring to the table, is being able to help them find solutions in today's market. So those are some of the best practices, tips, strategies, things I would recommend, right? Get better, make your offer stronger, consider new construction. It may or may not work. Start looking for off-market opportunities. These are just a few opportunities, a few different ways of solving the inventory problem that most agents are facing right now. But again, the more solution-oriented you are, the better this is for everyone involved. You're going to make more money, your clients are going to be more successful, and it just works all the way around. So those are just a few of my recommendations for solving the low inventory real estate problem that many of you are facing. If you found that valuable, take a split second, click the thumbs up button down below. We appreciate your support. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing. Click the subscribe button. Also, click that little bell notification. You'll be notified anytime we put out brand new content. And we put out new videos every single week, giving you new tips, new strategies, new ways to grow your business. And so you'll definitely want to check those out. I'll put up a couple of videos right here, videos you can go watch, take a look at, that'll help you grow your business right now. And then, as always, if you're curious about our services, you want to learn more about how we can help you market your business, there's some information in the description down below. Go take a look. Other than that, that's it. Make it a great week. Keep crushing it in your real estate business. If we can help, we'd love to help. Otherwise, we will talk to you soon. Take care.